Hey, Amitji, are you able to hear us?
Yes. Yeah, I was not able to unmute myself. So anyway, I think it's all good. It's all good now.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's good. Okay. Can you all see me clear? Hear me clear?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Let's sit comfortably with neck and spine erect. Gently close your eyes. And isolate yourself from the rest of the world. Become an island. A yogi is an island. Mentally, he is an island. Physically, he is still in touch with the entire surroundings. Just like a lotus in a pond. The lotus is in the pond, but is untouched by the water. Likewise, let's detach ourselves from within. Listen inwards, look inwards. Join your palms to the heart center. Relax your thighs by just paying attention to them. Excuse me. Relax the pelvis area, the tummy area, torso, the entire torso, the back, the chest. Come to the shoulders. Bring your attention to the fingertips touching each other. Forearms, upper arms. And then pour a bucket of attention on the top of the crown of your head. And let it drizzle in every way, every which way there is, in all 360 degrees. Relax your forehead. Take all that stress out of the forehead. Your temples, cheekbones, nose, upper lip, lower lip, chin, jaw, back of the neck, ears. Relax the eardrums, the eyeballs, and let the tongue settle in the mouth. Take a deep breath. One more time. Sarvepi sukhina santu, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kashid dukhamapnuyat. Om sahana vavatu, sahano bhunaktu, sahavi Karva. Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Rub your palms together. And look deep inside the Chidakash, the mental space, this consciousness, space of the consciousness. Okay. Today, being the last weekend, again, we're going to do something similar to what we did last time, but we'll probably focus a little bit more on the pranayama today. Okay, so we'll do some stretches the first half of the time, and then the rest half we'll sit down here and do some pranayama. Is everything everybody okay with that? The other thing I wanted to mention is if you haven't taken the survey yet, I think please do that. That really helps us to make some decisions. So, and improve this practices on every weekend. So your feedback is very, very important. Okay, with that, let's get up and quickly stretch, and then we'll do some long holding poses again. All right, so we'll probably focus on 2 or 3 poses, nothing more than that. So relax, bring your belts and blocks. We'll always need that. Keep a chair handy. I don't know if we will use the chair today, but we'll probably learn something different. Okay, all right, let's get started. Okay, clasp your hands, interlace your fingers, Baddha Angulyasana. Flip them inside out and stretch upward. Stretch as hard as you can so that your bicep starts connecting the earlobes. And maintain that connection. And lean sideways and come back to the center. Lead sideways to the left side. Maintain the connection to the biceps and earlobes. And come to the side. And do it again. And do it again. On this side, stretch up. And keep your heels connected. Rise on your toes and stretch. Wonderful. And bring your hands down. Relax. Okay. Put your hands by the side. Put your feet about hip width apart. One hand to the right side. And raise your left arm and push your hips in that direction. We're not bending this way, we're pushing the hips that way. So it automatically creates this kind of half moon kind of curve. All right. So this is not really a Chandra Namaskar, but it's called Ardha Kati Chakrasana. Kati is your waist, is your area here, and you're basically doing that. Let's do the opposite. Okay, wonderful. Let's do the hula hoop rings. We don't need to raise the heart rate this time. We're going to hold the poses for a long time. So we're just basically loosening our body. Okay, just basically loosen it. Feel, get that all lethargy from the last night out of the body and make it loose. Very nice. Okay, very good. And then we're going to start off with Balasana. We'll do Adho Mukha Svanasana, a version of Adho Mukha Svanasana. So what I'm going to do is we'll not need the blocks right now. We'll put the blocks aside and we'll get into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Okay, so that's downward facing dog, as they call it. And put your feet as wide as the mat. Okay, so line up your blade. What is the blade? The blade is this edge of the foot right here. We call it the blade. That's the heel, and the area under the big toe is called the ball of the foot. So there's a triangle that happens between the heel, the blade, and the ball of the foot. Okay, so let's put the blade of the foot aligned with the mat, and try to, if you're here, see if you can get it there. Okay, and then if you think that you may not have enough grip, you can always hold the mat. Okay, make sure your mat doesn't stretch out. All right, invest in a good mat. I think that's very important, so it's not stretchy. All right, and then we're gonna push. So rise on your toes and push with your hands. Rise on the toes and push with your hands, and then without changing anything, put your heels down. Now, don't worry, we're not going to hold this pose for too long, but nonetheless, I think we should hold it for some time so that you develop this endurance in the shoulders. Okay, the shoulder endurance is important. Okay, so we stay here for some time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my knees down. So then put the knees as wide as your mat as well. All right. And leave the hands where they are. And look up. Feel that reverse curvature that you're getting in the back. This reverse curvature, I call it the catenary arch. So think about your vertebrae as beads of a necklace. And all these visualizations are actually quite important to relax your body. So internally visualize that your back is like a necklace. It has this spinal, what do you call that? The nerve that goes in the yogic system, we might call it the Sushumna Nadi, which is an energy channel. But think about that energy channel as that unseen, hidden string that attaches to all the beads of that necklace. Think about it like that. And that brings about immediate relaxation in your back. Immediately you will feel, my back is like a necklace. You can visualize whatever you feel in terms of whether the necklace is golden, whether it is full of pearls, whatever makes you happy, whatever relaxes your back, you hold on to that. Okay. So, and if you look at the mirror, you should get some reverse curvature right there. This is not a dog pose, by the way. Okay. So we're trying to get a deeper extension, a deeper relaxation in the back, which normally the dog pose doesn't give. Okay, now move your hands out. Move the hands out and go deeper into the pose. And you may leave the mat and just relax here. Let your body settle down. Let your body settle down. And you may close your eyes. Now, another thing you can do is you can bring your toes together at the back. Okay, so see that subtle changes that are happening in your thighs just by moving those toes from outward to inward. The yoga that we are practicing is all about being aware of every moment that is involved, every moment that we are on the mat. Keep bringing yourself back to the mat. And the mind will wander. This is a meditative yoga. So the mind tends to wander because it gets bored. But keep bringing that mind back onto the mat and feel that touch of the mat to your hands, to your palms. Take note of every little detail. And then I'm trying to sink myself slowly, slowly, slowly. I'm trying to bring my butts closer to the heels. I'm going deeper and deeper. And ultimately, you may be able to even rest your elbows. See if you can do that. See if the back is even further bent backwards. And relax the back. You don't stretch it all out. Stress it all out, if I may say. There's no point in stressing it. The idea is to de-stress your body, decompress the body from the entire week that it has been. And see what is happening. Your body is coming closer and closer to the mat. Your chin is about to touch the mat. And then you walk your hands out a little bit and see if you can touch your chin to the mat. Or if you want to touch your forehead to the mat, that's also fine. You may hear some clicking sounds in the back. Those are good. All right, relax here. Close your eyes. This is a relaxing pose. This is a cat stretch, dog stretch, version of Svanasana. We are getting into Balasana. And then I'm going to slowly, 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 slowly feel. Keep your mind here and now. The here and now is a pretty weird term, to be honest. The mind can never be here and now. I know we keep trying that, but understand the logic that the mind is never in the present tense. It can never be. The presence inside, the tattva inside is always present. And in the presence of that, nothing else exists. Mind just withers away, all the thoughts go away. And the moment you are in the present, the only thing that is present is the consciousness, if you may use that word, something that is giving us a sense of being alive. In the presence of that, nothing else really exists, because that is the final destination. There cannot be two there. Mind and the tattva cannot exist simultaneously. So the mind always wanders. Mind always wanders. It always keeps on running outside. Okay, keep pushing your hands now. I'm using the hands to push myself so my butts are touching the heels and my legs are wide apart. My knees are as wide as the mat. So if I can show you in this direction, my knees are wide, and then I'm stretching this way. So keep stretching this way. I'm just showing you from the other side. And put your forehead down. And when you put your forehead down, try to see if you can put your butts on the heels as well. And you're going to feel the stretch. Okay, you're going to feel that stretch. The other wonderful thing that when you practice you can do is if you have a nice wood floor like this, let's say, all right, get off the mat and put your knees on the wood floor with wearing something loose like this so that your legs can stretch like this. They can slide easily. Okay, and then come to this kind of a frog pose. This is how the frog sits. Right? You've seen the frog. Now, ideally, the hips should be completely flat on the ground, okay, so that your groin area almost touches to the floor. But don't worry about it because everybody is in a different state. Everybody has his own journey. So the frog pose, the dog now becomes the cat becomes a child, the child then becomes a frog. See how the journey is happening from one pose to the other. And now I'm kind of into the frog pose, and then I'm going to push myself, go backward, and literally touch my toes together, right? And I'm going to sit back like this, okay? And bring your knees to closer a little bit, and then go into the child pose. So what I was trying to show you is, if you have a slippery surface, make use of it, even if you have like ceramic tiles. So what I do is, sometimes I take like a hand towel. If I don't have a clothing like this, you take a hand towel and put your hand towel underneath for getting some cushioning right there. And then put your other foot also with a hand towel. So in our case right now, I don't have a hand towel here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my throw, for instance. This is the throw, and we put that under here. Okay, so see how easily this slips? Okay, and that, even if you did it on one side, that's okay. All right, and then you're gonna sit down, extend yourself as far as you can, and then put your hands or your forehead to the ground. And you will realize that the slippery floor, with that, it allows you to open up the hips slowly, 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 slowly. And eventually it is going to start hurting a little bit inside. You're going to feel that stretch and the heat starts developing. Now, if you want to relax like this, you can relax like this also in this pose. My butts are not touching the heels right now, but my entire lower body weight is on my knees, and the knees are not stuck to the ground. There's a slippery slope there. And that slippery floor is putting extension onto my hip. And now, let's dive deep and see what is going on in the mind. We have put the body in a position. Now let's observe the mind and see what is going on there. Close your eyes here. Close them. And look inwards, listen inwards. And the mind-body system is put in an awkward position right now. And we've made a conscious decision of doing so. Made a conscious decision to put the mind-body in this pose, here and now. And the mind eventually starts to protect the body. You will start realizing that the mind is revolting inside. The body is screaming at the top of its internal voice saying, "Get me out of here." There is a lot of stretch, a lot of pain, but that pain should not become suffering. That pain you must embrace. That pain is the Agni. That pain is the tapa. And the yogi tempers herself or himself in the pain, the fire of the pain. And what is that tempering? There is a mental tempering happening, but there's also bodily tempering happening. And that tempering is, do not complain. No matter what happens, and this is a calculated risk we're taking here, okay? We're not jumping off the cliff. So we're basically just trying to see how much pain can the mind endure without complaining. So maintain the equanimity of the mind. Keep the mind absolutely equanimous. Observe that pain and see where the pain is. Try to locate it. Where exactly is this pain happening? Where is that stretch? Keep searching for that location internally. The pain is in the groin area, in my inner thighs. Let's see if we can go there and find and pinpoint that exactly where it is. And at the same time, observe that the body is relaxing, it is stretching. And when the yogi doesn't complain, okay, when the yogi doesn't complain, in the most awkward positions, most difficult positions, psychologically, the yogi grows. That is the real growth. Psychological growth is the real growth. And what happens is, when you grow psychologically, and when you're facing difficult times in the life, you observe the mind, and you don't complain. If the life is going to throw at us many difficult situations, it could be wherever, it could be in the office, it could be on the road, it could be in the family. We all have our baggage there. And when we are put in that situation, which the life will, we observe. We observe the mind with equanimity and see, is the mind leaning to the left or to the right? Is it leaning to the front or to the back? Where is the mind leaning? Observe that. Is the mind complaining too much? Get me out of this pose. And you just stay calm. The tattva inside, the Sakshi Chaitanya inside stays calm and just observes like a lamp that observes everything that happens on the stage. The lamp that they light up before a performance on the stage is the witness of everything happens on the stage. Likewise, locate that lamp within. Let's find that lamp that is constantly observing everything. And let that lamp observe the mind with equanimity. And if the pain becomes unbearable, becomes too acute, you try to come back a little bit. And with that, you come out of the pose and slowly come to the frog pose again. And come to the frog pose and look up and get that backward bend in the back. Wonderful. Okay, so now it could hurt to come out of this pose. So what I would do is take that mat outside first, and then lean on your hands, and then lift your knees, and put them in the center. Okay, and then sit back. So this is how we practice slow poses with complete awareness. The awareness of observing the mind with this element that is giving us the sense of being alive. If somebody asks us, "Are you there?" We say, "Yes, I'm here. I'm here." What is it that is telling us that I'm here? Or what is that giving us the sense of being, a present continuous being? That beingness is the observing element that observes the mind and the body system. And I call that the circle and the center phenomena. The center is always observing in 360 degrees, whatever is happening around the entire center, And when you are in that state, that is the true meditation, that you don't complain, you're just there with the equanimity of the mind. Okay. Now, we are going to get into Veerasana. Okay. So what is Veerasana? So I'm sitting in Vajrasana right now. So if I can show you from backside, my toes are touching and my heels are supporting the butts, right? This pelvic bone, it is supported by the heels. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this away from me like this and see if I can sit down on the floor with my knees still connected. Okay, so if the floor is too hard, you can get back onto the mat. Okay, so I put my knees together and you may use the block. For those who cannot sit on that pose for too long, you can use the block and separate the heels like this and sit between like this. Now this could be extremely painful in the knees. So to protect the knees, what I suggest you take the block and put it under and sit comfortably like this. Okay, let's just sit here for some time and see where is the pain? Is the pain here, or is it in your ankles, or is it in your low back, or is it in your mid back? Where is that pain? Let's just close our eyes for 2 minutes and then we can come to different pose. But this is a very, very meditative pose, if I may call it. You can sit like this in meditation. And what this does, it keeps your spine, neck and spine erect. Okay? Your body, right from Muladhara Chakra to the Sahasrara, is in natural curve, whatever that curve might be. You know? So, but if you look at it from the front, it is in straight line. Okay? So, keep your hands on the knees. And this is the position that I advocate always to sit in after you had a meal. Either Vajrasana or Virasana. Both are equally amazing. Both are equally amazing. The Vajrasana is called Vajrasana because it activates the Vajranadi. Vajranadi is, is one of the main nadis along the spine, which is like a sheath. It's like a sheath, and your Sushumna, Ida Pingla, or rather the Sushumna is sort of inside this Vajranadi. So it activates that Vajranadi, and you may want to double check this information and sit, observe the knees. This actually is good for your knees, this pose. So those who have knee problems, if you have had a knee surgery, I would stay away from it. But let's say if you're seeing signs of knee degradations, I would say sit in these poses, and it strengthens the knees, it lubricates, because the pain is nothing but it's an indication that as long as it's not an active pain, we're good. If it's an active pain, back out of it. Close your eyes and sit comfortably here with the neck and spine erect. And stay here for some time. And observe the mind again. Bring your mind into direct observation from the tattva. The Samsprudatma Tattvam. That's how it is. Adi Shankaracharya describes it. Samsprut. And observe, bring your complete attention to your knees. And once you settle in this pose a little bit, see if you can take that block out. See if you want to go a little deeper into the pose and actually sit. Now, you may use your hands to push yourself a little bit up and so that the knees are not fully loaded. And you gently, gently, gently relax. Use your hands to push yourself upward. And observe the pain dispassionately. Observe that it is in the mind and body, and it's not you. It could be painful. And observe with complete dispassion without any complaining inside. Observe how the mind tries to reconcile with the situation. It tries to protect the body, it tries very hard to let the body and the mind. And relax your hands a little bit, slowly, 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 slowly. Keep moving downward. And try to accept the pain, accept the reality as it is. What is our reality here and now? That we have put ourselves in that awkward pose of Virasana. And there is a name to it, Veerasana. Needs bravery to be in this pose for a long time. It's the pose of a brave man, or a brave woman, or a brave human, however you want to call it. And then take your hands to the back and lean on your back like a what we call Shitari Pranayama. So lean backward and keep your eyes closed and observe. Observe the pain in the knees as though it is not your pain. You are in the water, but you rise above the water like a lotus and put all the pain behind you in the water. And the lotus is untouched. See if we can completely detach ourselves from the pain. Wonderful. Okay. All right. And then with your fingers, push yourself up, get into Virasana, and relax here. So the pain goes away. Okay. And now we're going to do yet another quick pose, which is called the crooked monkey pose. I call it. It's also called a version of Ashwasanchalanasana. So I'm introducing you another prop here for now. Okay, what is that prop doing, right? It is nothing but a kitchen stool. So I use anything that I find in the house to use it as a support system. Sometimes I use this little chair, like this is a simple IKEA chair that allows you to put your feet up and watch TV. So I use that also sometimes to do my Setu Bandhasan across like this because it has its natural slope like that. So these are some of the props that you can be creative about it. But today we're going to use a simple kitchen stool, or you can use a stepping stool that you use to get stuff out of your cabinet. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put both the elbows on it like this. Okay. And the back leg, I'm going to stretch out and put my knee down there. And my right leg, I'm going to bring next to it as though we are in the, how we do in Surya Namaskar, we have this pose like this, right? We do our Ashwasanchalanasana, we look up like that, right? And keeping the knees inside the armpit, lined up with the shoulders so that the knees are, this hand prevents you from pushing the knee out. That's the purpose of putting the hand right here, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this hand and put it inside here so that this knee can fall out. Got it? Okay. Now, Why we want the knee to fall out this way? Because it opens the hips up. Okay. Now take this stool and put your hands and elbows on it and relax. Put your entire upper body weight onto this stool so that it relaxes your pelvis. Okay, it relaxes your low back. It relaxes. So we take some of that thing out of there and then just be here and uncurl your toes at the back of the left foot. Okay, if I can show you from sideways. Okay, let's look at it from the sideways. Is put the stool here, right? And I put my left foot or right foot, whichever foot you prefer to do, and get into the pose, get a nice extension at the back so that you have a nice, so almost both the thighs are about to line up, okay? And then you put your hands on the stool like this and relax. I know the back can curve a little bit, and to avoid the curvature of that, we can look up and it will straighten the back out. So let me come back out again, facing you, and put my foot here. And if you have like sliding things here like this, like the floor, you can relax and push the stool away and come to this amazing pose like this. Okay, so what we are doing right now is we are opening up the hips. Okay, and then when the stool comes out, you pick this foot up and slide it back up like that. Okay, and see what happens. All right, close your eyes. And if you don't have the stool like this handy, you can use the block. Put the two blocks upright like this, and then completely relax, uncurl your toes at the back, and relax here. Now observe where the pain is developing. Where is the heat developing right now? Is it in your left upper thigh? You feel that upper thigh getting stretched? You feel the groin area getting stretched, the hips are opening. And if you want to take it to the next level, you can let this foot start, or this leg start falling in that direction. Okay, but let's not try to complicate this. So let's just keep it here for now. And observe the mind again. Feel that left knee on the ground. Feel the pressure on that kneecap. Feel the farthest toe at the back. Come to your back of the thigh, your shin, and see where all the stretch is happening. Come to your pelvis area. Wonderful. And these deep poses, long hold poses, are the ones that really help the body to become flexible, opens up the joints, and it opens up your mind as well to receive more. So the mind is in this receiving mode, the tattva is in the observation mode, and the body is in awkward pose. So all these three levels, the physical level, the psychological level, and the psychic level, the spiritual level, maintain that awareness in all the levels and accept the reality as it is. Ananta samapatibhyam. Surrender in this pose for a minute and accept it that we are in the awkward pose. It is painful. Completely understand, and this is the moment. This is a wonderful opportunity to grow psychologically, so that when somebody inflicts pain on us, whether physical or mental, we are able to endure, we are able to observe, we are able to take it in our stride and move forward. This is the psychological growth time, guys. Embrace this moment. This is when we really grow. Embrace it. Okay. Now, to come out of the pose, take that stepping stool and move. Do not give up your support. Put your hands here. And then I'm going to put my left foot out this time and push the stool away, right? And put my elbows on it and get into the left side. All right. So the wood floor here really helps. Okay. If you have a nice slippery floor, this is an ideal situation to be in, and using the floor to your advantage. So what I'm doing is I can push the stool away from me. Also, you can actually get into this pose, like keep moving here and hold it, or you can push the stool back and relax with your elbows on it and just observe, close your eyes, and don't go too deep, because you're going to hold this pose for a long time, right? So if you want, if you can go up to 10, I would say bring it back to like 6 or 7 and then hold it there. That's where the body doesn't have this pushback on you, right? The body has this reflex action that actually, if you push the body too much, it's gonna just bounce back. So don't give that moment to the body, because the body has its own intelligence. It's going to obviously save itself. So what we're doing is we're slowly accommodating the body in the pose. Slowly, just like, it's like you could slowly slide yourself in. I don't know why an alligator came into my mind just now, but just slowly how it goes into the water. Doesn't make any noise, doesn't make many ripples. And it's likewise, slowly slide in the water, okay? And because of that, the body gets used to it. You allow the body to, you know how a diver dives in the water and he equalizes, right? He equalizes, then goes deeper, equalizes, goes deeper, equalizes, goes deeper, something like that. So we made the body comfortable in this pose, and so that it relaxes. And what the stool is doing right now, it is taking that additional stress from the back and the groin area, all of that away, and then we relax. All right. So, all right, I promise we'll stay here just for a minute, and then we'll do some cooling pranayama real quick. Stay here and observe the mind. Maintain the equanimity, the equipoise of the mind. If the mind complains, just give it some attention and say, it is okay, it's all right, it's not that bad, it's all okay, it's all wonderful. And the mind calms down. Just like a child. It's like you explain a child, it's all okay, don't worry about it, everything is going to be fine, and the child calms down. And that psychological support that the child gets from a parent is of immense importance. Gives them a sense of security. Likewise, you give that sense of security to the mind. It's all okay. Let it go. Let it go. Everything is wonderful. And that will relax the body. The mind is going to say to the body, hey buddy, everything is fine. Just relax. And you will see that you will go deeper into the pose. And you may want to connect with your breath at the same time. If you cannot observe the mind, observe your breath. Observe the breath going in and out. Okay. Then slowly we come out. Slowly we come out of the pose and use the prop as a tool to support yourself. And then we're going to come out, take a block, and sit comfortably on the block. And you will realize that if you're here, your body is going to now cooperate better. You see how it opens up all the way down, right? It is incredible what these poses do because they completely relax your body. Okay, sorry. So let's close our eyes and we can either sit in Siddhasana or we can sit in Ardha Padmasana. So I like to put my heel in the perineum here and put my right foot on top. Okay, there you go. Make your neck and spine erect. Keep your back straight. Put your hands on the knees and observe the breathing. Observe the breathing. And we're going to do a quick Kapalabhati so that it warms up the lungs. So let's do Kapalabhati, sit in Chin Mudra and put a Mula Bandha down there. Exhale fully. Inhale half the lungs and begin stroking your tummy muscles here. Exhale fully. Hold the breath out for some time. And take a deep breath. And let it go. And open your eyes. So today we're going to do, as the summer is approaching, we're going to learn 2 or 3 types of cooling breath. One is called the Shitari Pranayama. The other one is called the Shitari Pranayama. And the third one is called the Bhujangi Pranayama. Okay. So we'll see how much we can do. If not, we'll take it to the next session. But we'll definitely cover these 3 in the coming courses. Okay, coming classes. Okay, so let's see what is Shitali Pranayama. So Shitali is, the word Shital means cooling, something that is cool. So it's a Sanskrit word, Shital. Some of the languages, Hindi, Marathi, have actually adopted that in the language. So Shital is a cooling breath. So what is it cooling? It cools your entire system, but it also cools your parasympathetic nervous system. It calms it down. That is the main cooling that happens and is the most beneficial one. At the bodily level, yes, the cooling breath goes in, cools your lungs, and of course there is no air going into your tummy, although they call it the cooling tummy breath also. But also, of course, remember that the air is always only going in the lungs and never in your tummy unless you're doing Vayusara. So if anybody tells you that air is going in your tummy, I'm sorry, it's not the truth. Okay, it always goes into your lungs, but it goes deeper into all the crevices of your lungs and it fills up and it feels like it has gone into the tummy, but no. Vayusara is when you drink air. We're going to learn that too. How to drink air like you drink water. Okay. So Shitaly Pranayama is what you're going to do is you're going to taco your tongue like this, like this. You know how a taco is? It's like a you bend your tongue. Now this is genetically disposed condition. So I'm not able to do that. If you're not able to do that, don't worry about it. But you're going to use the tongue to breathe. You're using the mouth to breathe in and letting that all that cool air settle into your system. Okay? How you do it? Suck the air through the mouth. Okay, let's do that. Exhale fully. Always exhale the lungs out and start afresh. Always do that. Exhale fully. Taco your tongue. And let the air go out through your nose. You're not holding it in the initial stages. Take another cooling breath. And let it go. So we are doing basically Shitali breathing. This is not pranayama. We're not holding the breath. We're not manipulating the Bahya and Andhar Kumbhak or exercising any bandhas yet. So let's do this. So today we're going to learn how to breathe, the cooling breath only. So we learned the first type, which is Shitali. The second type is the Shitakari breathing. Okay, the Shitakari. So again, the word is Shitali, Shitakari is Shita means cool. So Shitakari breathing is happening through the teeth. So not through the tongue now. So we're going to open like as though you're going to put a big grin out like this, but keep your teeth clenched on top of each other like this, and then breathe through the gaps of your teeth. And let it go. Let's do one more time. Prolonged exhalation. And typically I like to do is constrict your epiglottis. And that actually helps to calm your parasympathetic nervous system down. Okay? Constrict your epiglottis. We call it the ocean breath. So hear yourself breathing out like to make that sound, you have to constrict the epiglottis, correct? Do that with the lips closed. Do it again. Shitakari, breathe in. One more time. Okay, remaining, we're going to do it next time. So let's bring your hands to the heart center. And take a deep breath. We'll say Omkar 3 times. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidikena yopakartam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abahu purushakaram shankha chakra siddharinam Sahasrar Shirsam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Hari Om. Rub your palms. And cup your eyes and see the subtle changes in your mental space. Actually, I call it the Chidakash, which is the space of the consciousness. Okay. Thank you guys for taking the time today. If anybody has any questions, we'll take it. If not, we will meet you on the next Saturday.